Is this the best 360 camera? In this video, I'm going to show you my favorite 8 features of the Insta360 One, plus some basics on how to operate and use the Insta360 app. Keep in mind, these are features that can only be used with the 360 camera and not your standard video. So let's get started. I'll show you some example footage, and then later I'll show you how I did it, plus my final thoughts of the camera. Here's an up close of the Insta360 One. I'll just go over a couple of the basic features to get you started. Here's the power button. To get that to work, you just press it and it turns on. And the light should go to green. That means it's ready. If it is blue or flashing blue, that means there's a problem. You need to troubleshoot or reset it. And there's a reset button. I found that I've had to do that a few times already, having it for only a couple weeks. Okay, and now if you want to do a picture, press it once and it'll flash green. If you want to do a video, then double click and it'll slow flash green. That means it started, and then click it again to stop. And then if you want to do bullet time, click it 3 times and it'll flash green quickly. And then press it again to stop. These are all configurable in the Insta360 app. Okay, just taking a look at the camera here, we have 2 lenses, one here, one here. The software stitches them together. Where you're gonna see the most noticeable stitching is between the 2 cameras on all 4 sides. So you're gonna get the best with these wide angle lenses in a dome here, but in between you're gonna have some noticeable stitching. They've done decent, but it is noticeable. And it says 4K Ultra HD. I believe that's the combination of both cameras. And then also you have to consider that it is taking a wider field of view, so it's not gonna get the image quality as a regular 4K camera, which is doing just one perspective. This is doing total resolution of the entire field of view, which is a fisheye. This is a fisheye lens. Here's the case that it comes with to protect the lens. It works pretty well. You can also use that as a stand, although it's not very sturdy. It's made for iOS to plug it in. It's a standard lightning connector. They do make an Android adapter. I have not tried it. It only gets 2.5 stars. If you've tried it, comment, let me know if it works. It comes with an 8 gig card, which gives you about 20 minutes of video, not a lot. I bought this 64 gig SD card, micro SD card. It's fast enough to record 4K video. I'll link it to the video description. Okay, first we're gonna open the Insta360 app. And let me show you some of the basic things you need to know. With the camera plugged in, you can go to settings, switch device mode. If you want to go to Android, that's where you switch it to Android. You have to switch back and forth. Other than that, I didn't really mess with much of the settings. Here's some ideas you can do. Roll planet, moon jump, no drone, couples bullet time. So there's some cool ideas here. Okay, let's go into album. You have pictures, and then you have video and bullet time. Okay, here is the bullet times I just recorded. This way you're gonna get some awesome views And you can move it down a little bit and up. So that's where your bullet time is. And here's the different videos I've recorded. And let's go into some of the settings. So for example, here is a video that I did with the drone. So what I like is this multiple view. You can do a small bubble, kind of a rectangle, or a split view. And the split view can be side by side, or it can be 9:16. This is great for Instagram, and this is great for YouTube. Next, here's a trim feature, the speed. So if you want to do hyperlapse, you just change the speed. Also notice up here, you're not going to see the setting until you export it out and save it. A few other things to consider, let's go back into normal view here, is if you press and hold, you have a few options here. So viewfinder changes it to tiny planet. And then back to normal view. Then also hold in view, and you have the smart track feature, which you can move that around and it will track an object no matter where the drone goes. And then as you see down here, it's creating these points within your film, within your roll. And you can always go in here and delete those and redo them. And then last one is called pivot point, and that's basically, I want to focus on this point here, and then we're going to scroll to a later portion of the video, pause, put a pivot point on that, on this direction. Then we'll change direction, we'll change a new pivot point. So that's pretty much it for the basics. So you have, here's the flow state stabilization. I always turn that on, you might as well, because it does a really good job of stabilizing the camera. Here is where you can share it. If you want to edit it, I'd save it to the album and then transfer it off of your device and into your editing studio. Now it's time to give my final thoughts of the Insta360 One. What I really love about this camera is it has a ton of features built into the camera and the app. The digital flow state stabilization works really well. I'm not sure if it's going to replace a gimbal, but I think it does really well for an action camera. It's really great for the price of roughly $289 on Amazon. There's also the GoPro Fusion, which is a lot more expensive. I have not tried it. Some of the features I did not like is it is still pretty buggy. I've had to reset it a number of times, plus the app does crash and it's had some problems. It doesn't work directly with Android. You need an adapter. From what I've read, it is hard to use the adapter. They have a lot of accessories, but they can be pretty pricey and add up pretty quickly. I 3D printed my drone attachment, and the only thing I had to buy was a 1/4-inch bolt. Here's the 3D print of the drone attachment for the DJI Mavic Pro. This only took about an hour to print. It's made of PLA. As you can see, it attaches really easily onto the attachment. Then all you do is clip it on here and attach it this way. And then as you can see, it's really sturdy. In order to take off and land, you have to hold the drone. So be careful if you do that. I will also add the link to the template for this 3D print. So in summary, this is my favorite action camera. I'll be using it for more drone and one-wheel footage. I'm not so sure about using it in a meetup. The bottom line is it's a great action camera, but it's probably not going to replace a regular 4K video anytime soon. As usual, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial of the Insta360 One. Please comment, let me know your thoughts, and if you enjoyed this video, maybe some more ideas of what you would like to see reviewed for me in the future. Don't forget to like, comment, and hit that subscribe. See you next time.